Good evening. Welcome to AC Transit's Rapid Corridors Telegraph Avenue Project Public Information Meeting. My name is Robert Del Rosario. I'm the Director of Service Development and Planning for AC Transit. Tonight's public information session is to provide information about our Telegraph Rapid Corridors project. I'll be providing some housekeeping instructions and brief opening remarks. We will then move to a presentation of approximately 25 minutes. This meeting is being recorded. Next slide. First, closed captioning is available by clicking the CC icon in your Zoom control panel. You may select the language that is appropriate for you. Secondly, we have simultaneous interpretation in Spanish and Chinese for this meeting. Everyone should have been prompted to select a language upon entering the meeting. For participants that want to listen to the meeting in English, you will see a little globe icon in your Zoom control panel and select English from the menu. Thank you all for your patience as you work to ensure equitable participation for our non-English speakers. Now I will quickly review how we will take questions this evening. Next slide. We will have a question and answer portion of the meeting after we provide a presentation with the project background. If you are watching this meeting on Zoom, please utilize the Q&A box that has been activated for this meeting. We will be answering these questions verbally for the benefit of our participants listening by phone. We will not be calling on any hands except for those joining us by phone to ensure accessibility. If you are on the phone, press *9 to raise your hand. If you are interested in reviewing additional materials about the Telegraph Rapid Corridors project, please visit www.actransit.us/TELEGRAPH. Again, that's www.actransit.us/telegraphrc. Next slide. Welcome again to the virtual meeting for the Telegraph Avenue Rapid Corridors project. Tonight's meeting will provide you with an opportunity to get an update on the project's construction timeline and general impacts on the surrounding area. This meeting will largely be focused on upcoming improvements and next steps during construction. We will also be answering questions about the design of the project for those of you who may not be familiar with the project. However, we are not soliciting feedback on the design as we have concluded the design phase of the project. I don't know if we have other attendees in the audience, so I can now turn this over to Ryan to go over an overview of AC Transit. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. My name is Ryan Lau, an External Affairs Representative at AC Transit. Thank you for joining us tonight and for your continued support as well as we work to restore and rebuild service in the 13 cities and 8 unincorporated areas of Alameda and Contra Costa counties that we serve. AC Transit prides itself on being the largest public bus-only system in the state of California and the third largest bus-only transit agency in the United States. Our service is critical to the regional economy and for the riders that rely on us for their essential trips. We are still in ridership recovery from the pandemic, but we are back to approximately 76% of our pre-pandemic ridership, serving 142,000 rides per weekday and nearly 40 million riders annually. We also provide 30,000 rides to students every school day. Our Transbay ridership has been severely impacted by the pandemic, as well as remote work and hybrid work schedules. If you're a rider, a business owner, an elected official, and even if you drive, anything that impacts AC Transit in one way or another impacts you as well. We also consider ourselves the connective tissue of the Bay Area transportation network, connecting 16 other public and private bus systems, 25 BART stations, and 6 Amtrak stations, as well as 3 ferry terminals. While we're still in recovery from the pandemic, we continue to provide critical service, and in particular for those who have continued to ride us during the pandemic. AC Transit has always been a lifeline for many, and our service has always been a critical component of the fabric of many of our communities. Ensuring the sustainability of AC Transit service is truly a matter of equity, given that 65% of our riders are low income, 75% are people of color, 43% indicate that they have no access to a working vehicle. We also serve essential workers, students, seniors, individuals with disabilities, and anybody that wants to reduce their carbon footprint. With that, I will turn the mic over to Casey Bruno, who will provide additional details about the Rapid Corridors Telegraph Avenue project.
Thank you, Ryan. My name is Casey Bruno, Senior Transportation Planner at AC Transit, and I'm pleased to speak with you about the Telegraph Avenue Rapid Corridors project. This project is going to implement recommendations from AC Transit's 2016 Major Corridor Study, which identified infrastructure investments that will help buses run faster and more reliably on 11 key corridors that carry more than half of the people who ride AC Transit. Telegraph Avenue is one of those 11 key corridors. The Telegraph Avenue Rapid Corridors project wrapped up its design phase, including outreach related to the design process in winter 2022. Now that we are finally ready to deliver this project, we thought it would be prudent to reintroduce it. Telegraph Avenue is an important corridor for the East Bay community with a historically strong ridership. The Rapid Corridors project is aimed to enhance transit operations and improve service quality for bus lines 6 and 800 that run along Telegraph Avenue. The Telegraph Avenue Rapid Corridors project will implement signal improvements along 4 miles of Telegraph Avenue from 20th Street in Oakland to downtown Berkeley. Changes to bus stops south of 51st Street have been made through the City of Oakland. North of 51st Street, the Rapid Corridors project will implement longer bus stops, bus stop relocation, bus stop optimization, and sidewalk repair. Lines 6 and 800 run along Telegraph Avenue. Line 6 connects downtown Berkeley and downtown Oakland. It's one of the highest ridership routes at AC Transit, having approximately 3,900 weekday riders. Line 800 is an all-nighter route operating between midnight and 5 a.m. It connects San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, El Cerrito, and Richmond. Line 800 travels along Telegraph Avenue between 20th Street and Ashby Avenue. It has approximately 420 rides on an average weekday. Upcoming improvements include moving stops for better access, extending red curbs for better access, optimizing bus stop spacing, improving traffic signals, and repairing some sidewalks. These proposed improvements will provide several benefits, including reducing travel time, enhancing transit reliability, and improving improving access to and from the bus for transit riders. In the next following slides, I'll provide a more detailed overview of these 5 improvements. So there are 2 types of bus stop locations, near side and far side stops. Near side bus stops are located immediately before crossing an intersection, and far side bus stops are located immediately after crossing an intersection. Far side bus stop relocation means that buses will spend less time waiting at red signals and that pedestrians will be provided with improved visibility when crossing the street. By placing a bus stop on the far side, the driver can use the transit signal priority for faster travel through signalized intersections and can pull straight into the stop because there's no parking behind it. This improvement also means that pedestrians will be provided with improved visibility from incoming traffic when crossing the street. This project will convert many of the near side stops along Telegraph Avenue into far side stops. And something to note is that parking will be removed from new far side stop curb areas, but will be added to the previous near side stop locations. And this will be discussed later in the presentation. Some bus stops will be extended, which requires a longer curb, red curb. Longer bus stops will provide buses with more space to align with the curb and improve accessibility for riders of all physical abilities. When buses can align fully with the curb, bus operators can safely deploy ADA bus lifts and allow riders to land safely on the sidewalk curb rather than the roadway. In reviewing bus stop locations and spacing, we considered several elements, including land use, ridership, bus operations, safety, and stop spacing, or how close or far the previous stop to the next stop is. Bus stop locations are proposed to be adjusted to achieve desired spacing to balance ease of access to bus stops and efficient bus operations. In this project area, this means reducing the total number of stops along a route by removing some stops that are too closely spaced or otherwise not optimal. This project will align bus stop spacing more closely, meeting the AC Transit Board Policy 501 bus stop guidelines. The board policy sets bus stop spacing standard for rapid bus only service as 1,300 to 1,900 feet. This rapid bus only service type has stops that are typically within walking radius, but more widely spaced than local service. And this policy seeks to balance the convenience of having a stop nearby with a time benefit for all riders along the route. Transit signal priority allows buses to request priority upon arrival, and the signal can grant additional seconds of green light to reduce time spent waiting at red lights. The retiming and synchronization of traffic signals will help provide adequate crossing time for people walking and biking through an intersection. Coupled with signal coordination and retiming, transit signal improvements will improve transit service reliability and reduce travel time. This signal equipment can also be used by the city's emergency vehicles to get on scene more quickly. Traffic signal improvements will be implemented at all 53 signalized intersections between downtown Oakland and downtown Berkeley along Line 6. Some sidewalks at existing and new bus stops will be improved. Rebuilding some sidewalk areas and paving some portions of dirt planter strips to provide access to bus doors and space for ADA bus lifts. At some stops, bike racks, planter pots, and other street furniture will also be moved to provide ADA access. These changes will improve safety and access for passengers of all ages and abilities. So this map provides an overview of the bus stops that will be added, improved, removed, or will remain as they are today, as well as locations of traffic signal improvements. The filled green circle indicates a bus stop addition, and the red circle with an X indicates a bus stop removal. 4 of the proposed removals are to shift a near side stop to a far side stop, while the others result from bus stop optimization to achieve the board-approved spacing for rapid bus service. The green circle with just An outline indicates a stop whose location is to remain, but will have improvements such as repaired sidewalks or longer bus stops. The gray circle indicates bus stops that will have no changes. South of 51st Street, bus stop changes have been delivered through the city of Oakland. This AC Transit project will include only traffic signal improvements on Telegraph between 20th Street and 51st Street. In the project area between 51st Street and the South Side neighborhood in Berkeley, there are currently 35 bus stops. After implementing the bus stop changes, there will be 21 bus stops that are spaced apart at an average of 1,300 feet. Making these improvements will result in a few trade-offs. Adjusting bus stop spacing will result in faster travel time. And if traveling on Telegraph Avenue in the project area, the average maximum walking distance to reach any bus stop will be 2 blocks or a little over 2 minutes. Longer bus stops and bus stop relocation will improve service and reduce transit delays. In areas where bus stops are removed, some additional parking spaces will be gained. In areas where we are proposing longer bus stops or new bus stops, parking spaces will be reduced. And overall, there will be an additional 13 parking spaces along the corridor. Now I am handing over the mic to Will Bueller, who will go over detailed design concepts by block.
Hello, I'm Will Buller, the traffic engineer at AC Transit. I'll be walking you through upcoming bus stop changes throughout the project area to make reviewing the specific details at each bus stop change easier to understand. We've broken down the Telegraph project into 4 segments, which we'll now review, starting with the south end of the project area moving north. In addition to changes to the bus stop spacing, you'll notice many bus stops are relocated to the far side of signalized intersections. Please note you'll have the opportunity to ask specific questions during the question and answer period. Segments A, B, and C are in Oakland, so we're going to start with segment D, which contains bus stop improvements from Woolsey to Prince Street. One mid-block bus stop between Prince Street and Woolsey Street will be removed. This bus stop does not have a pair in the opposite direction. This bus stop removal will help optimize bus stop spacing and improve safety. A far side bus stop pair with sidewalk improvements are proposed to be added at the Woolsey intersection. The new proposed pair of far side bus stops at Woolsey Street is important because they set up an efficient bus stop distance between previous and next bus stops in each direction to optimize transit reliability and travel time, as well as providing access to bus stops. In the segment between Woolsey and Prince Street, there'll be a net loss of parking spaces, of 6 parking spaces in this segment. Segment E covers improvements from Webster Street to Russell Street. The project will remove 1 pair of bus stops at Russell Street. The project will eliminate northbound bus stop at Webster Street and southbound bus stop at Ashby Avenue. The existing southbound Webster Street bus stop and existing northbound Ashby Avenue will become a new pair. Consolidating 2 pairs to 1 pair will help achieve the AC Transit Board policy spacing to reduce travel time and improve transit reliability. There will be a net addition of 9 parking spaces for the segment between Webster Street and Russell Street. Segment F contains improvements from Stewart Street to Derby Street. The project will remove a pair of bus stops at Derby Street and improve the pair of bus stops at Stewart Street with red curb extensions. This will optimize bus stop spacing and allow for buses to better align to the curb for improved accessibility and safety. There will be no net change of parking for the segment between Stewart Street and Derby Street. Segment G includes improvements from Parker Street to Dwight Way, a pair of bus stops at the Parker Street intersection, which is an unsignalized intersection, will be removed. The near side northbound bus stop at Dwight Way will be relocated to the Blake Street T intersection. That will pair with existing bus stop on the other side remaining. This helps achieve optimal bus stop spacing for better transit reliability and travel time. This also removes a conflict between buses trying to access the stop at Dwight and right turning vehicles, which improves bus access and safety for pedestrians crossing Dwight Way. There will be a net addition of 3 parking spaces for the segment between Parker Street and Dwight Way. Now I'm handing over the mic to Ryan Lau, who will go over the project stakeholders outreach efforts.
Thanks, Will. So in mid-2021, we did a pretty extensive design phase outreach effort, including, as the slide states here, meeting with various UC Berkeley offices to ensure no conflicts with their operations. We met with city council members, community stakeholder groups, business owners. We did site visits as well. We worked with the local business association, the Telegraph Business Improvement District, as well as holding a public meeting, a virtual public meeting. We also met with the East Bay Transit Riders Union, and then we wrapped up our design phase, including the outreach, in the winter of 2022. And so with that, I will hand it back over to Will Bueller, which will provide additional information about the project timeline and construction impacts.
Thanks, Ryan. As you mentioned, yeah, we finished up the design phase, wrapped it up in the winter of 22, and the project resumed in the fall of this year with work focused on administrative tasks and securing necessary permit approvals. The actual physical construction on Telegraph Avenue is scheduled to begin at the beginning of January 2025 due to the holiday moratoriums in both Berkeley and Oakland during November and December. Construction crews will start their work on January 6th in Berkeley, where they will focus on curb and concrete work and bus stop improvements and relocations. In February, their work will shift to signal improvements. Once the signal improvements in Berkeley are complete, construction crews will move to Oakland to perform similar work. The project is expected to be completed in April of 2025. During construction, there'll be some temporary traffic disruptions. There may be some bus stops in the construction zone that may be temporarily relocated. We will notify riders of changes in advance through our AC Transit e-news notifications. We aim to keep construction activities limited to weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And throughout the construction work, we will make sure that our construction crew minimize impacts to the public by maintaining clear signage and making sure there is a safe access for residents, businesses, and commuters. Thanks to everyone for listening. This concludes our presentation portion of this meeting. We'll now move into the question and answer session.
Thanks, Will. We recognize that's a lot of information for you to process, but we thought it was important to share with you not only the ways that we've been impacted by the pandemic, but also that we are still advancing projects and that are aimed at improving service quality, reliability, and rider experience. With that, we're ready to transition to the portion of our program for comments and Q&A. Many of you here tonight live, work, and travel on Telegraph Avenue, and we want to hear from you. We'll be posing any questions that arise to our panel for a response so that all participants are able to hear the answer. We'll be taking into consideration any comments and feedback addressing the Telegraph Avenue project so that we can consider them during the project's construction phase. First, for people viewing the presentation on a computer or a smartphone, please use the Q&A function if you're watching this meeting via the Zoom platform. And if you're calling in, please use *9 to ask a question. Please remember that this meeting is intended for public information and to reintroduce the project since it's taken a couple years to reach the implementation phase. We have completed our design phase, so feedback should be limited to construction and project implementation. However, if you're unfamiliar with the project, please feel free to ask questions about the design. Casey, if you can stop sharing. So if there are any questions, please make sure that you are putting them in the question and answer section. First question is to Trinity. Will there be any travel impacts such as road closures during construction? If so, how can I learn about them in advance?
Thank you for the question. Yes, as with any roadway project, there may be some travel impacts during construction. Our project team will provide advance notice of any closures or detours and will work to ensure that safe and efficient travel routes remain accessible during construction. You can also learn about the latest updates by signing up for AC Transit e-News. That was on slide 24, actransit.org/subscribe. Or use ACT Realtime, which is actransit.org/RT. Thank you.
Thank you, Trinity. Appreciate that. So another question is, there was a project that recently concluded construction along Telegraph. Is this a continuation of that project? And this is for Casey.
Thank you, Ryan, for that question. Casey Bruno, Senior Transportation Planner at AC Transit. So these are actually separate and distinct projects. The project that recently concluded construction activities was the City of Berkeley's South Side Complete Streets project. The project currently being discussed is AC Transit's project called Telegraph Rapid Corridors Project. The City of Berkeley will also begin the design phase of their Telegraph Avenue multimodal corridor project shortly. And project limits for the multimodal corridor project include Telegraph Avenue from Dwight to Woolsey. And so we're actively coordinating with the city on this project to make sure we're all aligned and working towards the same goals. And actually, we have Elliot Schwimmer here, Senior Transportation Planner at City of Berkeley, who may be able to briefly elaborate on the multimodal corridor project.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Elliot Schwimmer, Senior Transportation Planner, City of Berkeley. The Telegraph Multimodal Corridor Study covers Telegraph Avenue between Dwight Way and Woolsey Street for the Oakland-Berkeley border. It spans a distance of about 0.85 miles. The project would include design elements that would maintain access to businesses such as loading zones and floating parking lanes. It would also include transit operation improvements such as bus-only lanes and transit stop islands. Finally, the project would include Vision Zero traffic safety elements such as separated and protected bike lanes, also known as cycle tracks, and shorter pedestrian crossings. Happy to answer any other questions about the Telegraph Multimodal Corridor project if they arise.
Thanks, Elliot. So just wanted to open it back up for any Q&A questions. So if you have anything that you'd like to learn about the Telegraph Rapid Corridors project, please enter it now. So there's one final one, and I think this question is for me. Will you be holding any more virtual public meetings to provide updates on the project's progress? And so no, we won't be having any other public meetings regarding the improvements that are happening in the city of Berkeley. This is a city of Berkeley specific public information session, but we will have an upcoming public information session for those improvements that are in the city of Oakland. Just as a point of reference, we did mail out notifications with information regarding this meeting, which is how many of you come to us today, as well as any information related to anticipated construction impacts and contact information for our construction management team. And then there will be additional follow-up notifications via door hangers as we get a little bit closer to the start of construction in early January. That will also be associated with, or accompanied rather, with knock and talks, just in case people have any specific questions. So, and we will make sure to post this information, the presentation rather, on our website, as well as a recording of this presentation. And it looks like there are no additional questions at the moment. So I really appreciate you joining us this evening, and we will look out for any questions coming our way. Thank you.